Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I am Stacy and I love all things planning, scrapbooking, creating. My absolute love is shopping and collecting craft supplies. But I do try to use them, and that's what we're going to sort of do in this video. I'm actually getting ready to set up my September monthly sticker journaling process, but I am ready to switch over to a fall autumn vibe. So I brought out a different cover. I want to continue in my current A5 journal, but I want to make it fall aesthetics. So I have a couple of things in front of me. So if you want to see how this comes together, stick around. Okay, so first things first, let me just put this to the side and we'll kind of talk about this setup currently. So right now for the full year, honestly, the first half of the year, I've been using this Aura Estelle Perfect Fit cover. Sorry, I want to make sure I'm in frame. And it's in I can't remember what the color of this, but obviously it's pink. I don't use this pocket for anything functional. I just have this card from Live Love Posh that I think matches really well with the pink. And then the inside has some pockets. Again, I don't particularly use anything functionally. Once in a while, I do use these Post-it notes. And then I have a washi card in here and a little sticker, which I'm hiding the best part of it, the Starbucks cup. I'm gonna actually take that out for right now because I might be able to repurpose that. I put some vellum in the pocket, have another journaling card, and then obviously my notebook, my journal, and it's pink. I think it goes pretty well together, although this has got a little more of a purple hue undertone. It's getting very chunky, as you can see. And then the back has a pocket here. I've got this journaling card that I'm sure I intended to use at some point. This is my little cheat sheet of what I use. So monthly calendar this month, order tracker, new releases. I initially intended to do a no spend. That's not going very well. And then the other side is supposed to be social media. And then I have a gratitude and prayer list. So this is essentially my cheat sheet of, what I use for the month. And I did forget one month to put in new releases. And so then this kind of folds into or slides into the back cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that out for now. It slides out pretty well because it's not, the full width of the planner. And you can also use these for multiple notebooks. This comes with strings, so you could string it, and this way you don't slide it into the pockets, and then you could use these as your page markers. I don't use it in that fashion. The other thing I really love about Aura Estelle's notebooks is you get these 2 pin loops, and you can expand the band if you need more room. So I don't think I've had to do that thus far, but this is honestly my first year using a journal for the full year. I intend or expect that I'm going to be able to use it for the full year. I have used these covers for a mini happy planner, but again, I've never had to expand the loop here, so it's worked out pretty good. So let's put that to the side. bring my notebook back in. So as you can see, I have some scrapbook paper here, and what I'm wanting to try is to use this cover. This is from the Rosy Life Planner. I want to use it to cover the notebook because I want to use I want to make the front of this more fall themed, and the only way I thought I could do that is if I use a cover, and I don't know yet if this is gonna work out well or not. I think this goes pretty good. I still get that pink element, so my intention is to cut this down and wrap it. I don't necessarily need it all the way over here. This would be the back, but I figured it would kind of make it stay together. So I'm going to end up cutting this down and then wrapping it around the notebook. But what I need to do is make sure that this fits inside, and even if I can't fit it to the back, I can at least wrap the front and tuck the back into the planner. So I think it'll slide better once I put the paper around it. But see how, I mean, it just takes away from the design of the notebook. So I don't necessarily want that. So we're gonna do that. And then I'm definitely gonna keep my little book shop. So this is another cover from Aura Estelle, and it's tweed. This was released last year, I believe. It's got little bits of silver flecks in here. My preference would be that it would be gold, but I can live with it. So I've essentially already got it decorated from last year. I have this gorgeous clip, although I might switch this out to something else. And then I have a undated, I believe this is undated. Oh no, it's dated. So this is a dated planner from Archer and Olive. I started it and then didn't really get into it very much. I'm not really sure what the deal was in terms of like what I didn't like about it. I think one of the things was that I was hoping that the boxes were a perfect fit. They're not a perfect fit, but they're not terrible either. But I don't know, there was something about it that it didn't appeal to me, and I don't think I'm going to use it this year, the rest of this year either. But I might try to use it next year, and I can always just redate it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. We'll put this to the side, and then it looks like I have some sticker sheets back here, so I'll put those back in my stash. Same concept. You can expand the band here. You just have to squeeze these and kind of maneuver it out. The other notebook, I have it on this loop, so we might need to go ahead and do that. I know I've done this in the past, but I can't remember how. I think you just kind of pinch it because it's got those tabs, and then you slide it back in. Probably be easier if I didn't have these pins already looped in, but that's okay. We can make this work. When it's difficult, that means it's gonna stay in place. So see, it doesn't, if you pull on it, it doesn't come out, and I'm shaking the camera, I apologize. Okay, so I have the strings just kind of tucked into the pocket. I'm probably gonna tuck them in here. I don't want to cut them off because someday maybe I might want to use them. And let's just go ahead. I want to switch it to this handbag, and I just have this magnet tucked in here somewhere. So you just got a magnet here. You tuck it into the pocket, and I have one back here too. Just realized. And there you go. I just think that bag is really cute. So it's gonna, this is like a safety pin, which I could put on the front somewhere. We'll think about that. These constantly fall out, and that must be why I had the magnet behind it. That makes a lot of sense. That's kind of cute. Okay, so let's put this aside and work on the insert. Oh, I also have this pocket. This is a little stuck. Oh, that's unfortunate. It transferred the ink from the stickers. This was like a little sampler. Thank you from Aura Estelle, and there's my little planner right there. These are so cute. But yeah, it transferred in. You can probably, I could probably take some alcohol and wipe that out, but it's just a really functional piece that you can add an extra pin, and you just like slide it into your planners. I think it's made for a TN, but I bought it anyways because you just need to put it to the end, and then you could like paper clip it. So anyways, let me grab my paper trimmer, and we're going to cut this down. So I need it just inside, and we might have to adjust this depending, but I need it like just inside the pocket. And like I mentioned, I'm not going to make it an exact fit from end to end because my focus is more on the front pocket, because that's what I see when I open the planner. So far so good. Okay, and now let's just see what that looks like. I think that looks very pretty. I like the subtle, the white in it kind of blends in with the white bows. And the reason I literally opened my fall scrapbook paper box, and it was like the second sheet on top, and I immediately gravitated towards this. Although these are like white daisies, they remind me of sunflowers, and that's kind of the theme that I'm gonna go for my September setup. And we took my college daughter back to school this past weekend, and there was like these yellow, they looked like yellow sunflowers, but they were small. So they were wildflowers of some sort, just lining the highway and different areas of the city, and they just look so pretty. I really wanted to like pull over and pick a bouquet of flowers, and so we came home, my husband went to the grocery store and he brought me home 2 bouquets of sunflowers. He is so sweet. He thought it would help brighten up the day, or the living room, the kitchen. So he must have sensed that I was a little down now that I had to take my daughter back to college again. So it was very sweet. So this just kind of reminds me of that, and I think it's gonna bring me joy when I open my planner. All right, so my light went out again on the right side. So we've got a little bit of a shadow happening here, but we're going to kind of work with that, and then I will pause to get that light situated, and then we will jump into the September setup. Okay, so let's bring in the planner, and I wanted to show you that the back does not fit, and mostly because this is getting very chunky. She is halfway filled and she is getting very thick, so this is not going to fit. But I want this view. This looks beautiful. I think I'm going to put the daisies over here as well. So again, I just need to slide both of these into the back, and it won't be a big deal. So let's try that, and I'll do my best not to shake the camera too much. And I want to make sure that the plastic slides in there as much as possible. Okay. There we have it. She is beautiful. Okay, so now I want to bring this over. So I'm going to bring my paper trimmer. I'm going to use my other sheet as a guide of how much to trim off. Okay, I think that works. Then last but not least, I'm going to round the corners. To me, it tends to slide into the pockets better, and it just gives a really nice finished look when it's poking out of the pocket. Okay, so we'll bring this back. I have something else back here. Care instructions. Oh, cool. So we're going to keep that in there in case I ever need to care for it. Oh, that is so cute. I love it. Okay, I'm not filling the bow, so we're going to remove that. And let's see. I think I want to keep the sticky note, but let's see what else I can bring into the pockets to decorate it. So first off, I have this beautiful girl who is reading a book. Let's move the pocket down. Kind of like that. I know I've mentioned probably numerous times, to be honest, that I am in a temporary space, so I don't necessarily have all of my supplies at hand, and sometimes that makes it a little bit difficult because I can't just grab things from my stash. I'm trying to see. what I could clip here. Sometimes I have to just clip it to the pocket to make things stay in place. It's kind of cute. I don't necessarily like how straight everything is going. Just trying to think if I close that. Yeah, that's going to be a little floppy. I think I'd rather have it clipped like I did before. Okay. I think she's going to stay pretty well with this paper clip, so that's good. I do have this double-sided clip. This was part of the release. I don't think I need that there. Let's get a gold washi cutter. I can have that kind of sticking out. Although this is more yellow gold. Not sure that's gonna work. Trying to see what else I have in terms of washi cutters. I have these functional boxes. I have this white one, but she is a little dirty. She doesn't really stick out very much. In other words, like it's not really adding a ton of decor. I don't know if, now I'm kind of debating whether I want that, since we've got like a little bit of a book theme going here. That's pretty cute. Let's see. I have this little notebook of just various images. Not necessarily seeing anything with those daisies. I'm not sure any of that would work anyways. Okay, we're just gonna leave that. I think we're gonna leave that as is. Yeah, I think that works. We're gonna leave that alone for now. Okay, so let's close her up. See how that works. And there we have it. We've got my fall themed setup. So I had to clip in a pause for a moment to get my lighting situated, and I ended up moving things around on my desk. Squirrel. But I wanted to come back and finish up the video to show you the finished setup of my fall/autumn A5 journal setup. So here is the finished cover. I did leave this clip. I like to use these to hold down the pages sometimes. I had this magnetic bow. I just wanted to bring in that pink, of course. I may not keep it there, but I did go ahead and add this charm that I got from Boutique Charms. And over here on this side, I grabbed in my Starbucks ballpoint pen. I left this brown one. It's a vintage 0.5, but this pin here is also from Boutique Plans. I did flip the paper clip so that when it's hanging, you can see the pearls and the bow and the brown. Again, another clip from Boutique Charms. For this one, I just looped it in to the little hole right there. That's for the strings. That worked out really well. And everything else here is the same. So we've got everything situated. I'm pretty much ready to get started on my September. I had to think for a minute. September setup. Here's what August is looking like so far. And then I've got some pictures to do some memory keeping. So that is the finished product. I did want to go ahead and share as well the other planners I've got for this season. This one is just a kind of like personal, not necessarily on the go, but something to keep track of family and kids in school. I wanted to take advantage of the sale that Live Love Posh had not too long ago, and I have dogs barking in the background. I apologize, but I have almost all of her covers in the big and the classic. This one is a half letter. I don't think I have minis. Now that I think about that, I probably should go back and grab them before they're no longer available. So I picked up the half letter / A5. The only one that wasn't in stock is the pink, and I don't know if she's going to bring them back, but this one I did decorate, and I just added this cover page. I bought some printables to be able to create a monthly because she didn't have these set up yet, and then, or I'm sorry, she didn't have these in the shop. And so I did some decorating, and then I brought in weekly plans. And so I just did some printables, and that's just gonna be like my home planner. And then for my work planner, I have the beautiful newly released covers from Live Love Posh. Normally I would put this cover on, but I really wanted to be able to see this. It lives on my desk, so it doesn't need to be super protected. So this is the cover from Live Love Posh. I had a scrapbook page from Plannything, and then it goes into my quad layouts. And that's pretty much it. This is the back of it. I do have some note pages in here. Let's see here. I just grabbed some pages from the Happy Planner to bring in those kind of fall, autumn colors. And then I have them on the spice colored disc. So that is it for this video. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. I will do the September setup in the journal. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, friends. Bye.